Howdy folks, welcome back to Wannabe YT. I'm Barky, and today we'll be playing a few Hitman challenges. A few weeks ago I got a bit bored, so I asked a friend who doesn't play Hitman to come up with the wackiest challenges they could think of. And they delivered. They definitely delivered. What's interesting about these challenges is that since they come from someone who doesn't play the game, there are parts of it which they perceived as challenging, which turned out to be remarkably easy, and parts of it which they perceived as easy, which turned out to be remarkably hard. As a result, we've got an interesting collection of videos which were originally destined to just be sent back to that friend as proof that I completed their challenges to show off for you, if that makes sense. My point is that if at times it doesn't sound like I'm speaking to you, the audience, it's because a lot of these videos weren't originally intended to be released on YouTube for an audience. So that should explain why sometimes my narration sounds weird, but I'm starting to stall now. Let's just dive right into it with challenge number 1. Alright, so you challenged me to do a distance kill only challenge, which involves killing targets from really long distance, over 20 meters. Well, over 20 meters really isn't much because these maps are huge, but the point is, I get what you mean. Really long distance challenges are like killing targets from halfway across the map. I do have a bit of a problem with this. It's that it's actually surprisingly easy, you see? If I just take this for a moment to demonstrate. You know, Hitman is a game which involves sniper rifles, which kind of make this challenge quite easy. It also involves remote explosives, which allow you to kill targets from across the entire map. However, to be fair, to keep this entertaining, I am going to avoid using those two methods. And this is going to actually make it quite interesting, because it's not really the fact that I am avoiding these weapons that makes it challenging, it's more the weapon which I'm choosing to use instead, which is going to make things interesting, because the weapon I'm going to use is the ICA-19 Silverballer. A pistol. I am about to try and shoot targets from across the map with a pistol. This is gonna be interesting. Now, I actually picked a starting location which is completely across the map from the optimal position for this. Essentially what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and pull up the standard sniper route, except this time I'm using a pistol, which is going to spice things up. But the reason I'm on the complete opposite side of the map from the optimal starting position is because I need to wake this detective up. Now this detective knows who I am, don't know how, but upon waking up he's actually going to call Francesca DeSantis, one of my targets, to organise a meeting on a pier. And that is where I'm going to be able to shoot her. My other target is Silvio Caruso, who's this scientist. Actually, Francesca DeSantis is also a scientist. They're both scientists, and I need to destroy a virus. And in order to do that, I am going to sneak into this church, because he has a church tower. And if any of you have seen Saving Private Ryan, don't know why I'm talking like it's a YouTube video, if you've seen Saving Private Ryan, then you know that church towers are quite nice sniping positions. Well, they're also quite obvious sniping positions, but they're pretty good sniping positions. I'm just going to take a quick detour through here, because for some bizarre reason, the priest has access... I can't English. The priest of this town has access to every single security camera. Silvio Caruso is almost in position. What I've done is I've shot that panel over there, and that has remotely opened the observatory tower, and now I can see his eye. That means that he is now in position to be shot. Boom. And that's target 1 down.
Next up, Francesca DeSantis.
And there she is. In position. Don't know where the detective is. He doesn't really make it here for some reason. Oh, he's late. He's running late. Now, Miss DeSantis is going to be a bit harder to kill because, well, her head is a much smaller target than that telescope, that's for sure. But hopefully, I can pull it off.
2 targets down. Now destroy the virus.
Alright, now, the next part of my plan involves breaking into the morgue. Can I open this without being spotted? I reckon I can. Don't worry about that, it's just the guards panicking. Now, if I just desecrate this corpse, that will give me access to the underground lab where the virus is being built. And that, in turn... Oh, there they are, running to the tower. I told you it was an obvious sniping position. That should allow me to, well, I'm gonna have to find a position which is as far away as possible from the virus, while still being able to shoot it, of course. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of tackling these objectives in ascending order of difficulty here, because that virus is a smaller target than Francesca DeSantis' head, which was in itself a smaller target than Silvio Caruso's telescope, so this is definitely going to make things interesting. Alright, I'm gonna risk the shot. But this is going to be ridiculously tough. Bulletproof. Alright, I'm gonna have to grant you that while I did originally state that this challenge is arguably easier than the last one, this one actually has given me a bit of a headache. Because, while the first 2 targets were relatively easy, the virus is really tough. And I think that's because this is bulletproof glass, because I spent the last like 10-20 minutes just shooting at it and trying different objectives and nothing is working. I think that glass might be bulletproof. So, that only leaves me with one other real solution. It's the good old-fashioned technique. I keep using this because destroying the virus gets dull after a few tries, but it does also mean that, well, this hardly qualifies as halfway across the map, does it? I'm a little close. I'm kind of pushing the limits of your challenge here. But, you see that stalactite? Unfortunately, I was seen doing that, so I better get out of here real quick. Hasta la vista, gentlemen. And there you go. That's how you complete this mission using, well, by shooting a pistol from halfway across the map. So, what you asked me to do is to complete a mission specifically in Hokkaido, where I eliminate both targets with 1 bullet and with Silent Assassin. Now, unfortunately, that challenge is nigh on impossible, because the 2 targets in Hokkaido are quite unique. Well, no, one of them's unique. One of them's Eric Soda's. He's undergoing an operation, and so he spends the entire mission on the operating table. And that means that, well, in order to kill them both with 1 bullet, I'd need Yuki Yamazaki to go into the operating room. She never does. She's not a doctor. To be fair, there are windows I could shoot both of them through, but actually those windows are bulletproof for some reason. This hospital has high-level security, and that means that essentially there is no reality I can think of, no route I can think of where both targets can be killed with 1 bullet. And that means that unfortunately I'm going to have to select a different mission. Now, if, against your orders, I am going to allow myself to select my the mission, I should at least make up for that by selecting the coolest mission I can think of. And that would be the Miami level. The reason this one is so cool is because one of the targets is quite interesting. The first target is Robert Knox, and he's kind of standard. He's CEO of Kronstadt Industries. And he essentially walks around the building over there, the engineering building. But the second target is Sierra Knox, and she is currently over there, driving around in her race car. Yes, this level takes place in a racetrack. So that means I'm going to have to pull some interesting setup in order to make this work. Let me just take the Hackle 9S and take care of the security cameras.
You, move in. Got it.
And I'm also going to need... G'day, mate. I've turned on a piece of HUD, because you did ask me to do this in Silent Assassin, to prove that this is Silent Assassin. Essentially, in the bottom left corner, you see those two pistols. When they are green, that means I have the Silent Assassin rating. Alright, well let me explain to me what I'm about to do here. This chap, he was tasked by Robert Knox, one of my targets, to plant a bomb on one of the opposing team's vehicles, just to make sure that his car would win. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the job for that mechanic, because he just got caught. Cowling mechanic. I will leave my sniper behind right here. Pick it up later. Alright then, the explosive is now on. Now I need to retrieve the sniper rifle, and I need to go meet up with Robert Knox and tell him the good news. It's been a long time since I've done this mission story. I need to remember how I'm supposed to get to him. Am I forgetting something? I'm probably forgetting something. Well, I'm gonna get a free disguise out of this anyway. God, I love the Executive Briefcase Mark II. Fun fact, for those of you who don't know, the Executive Briefcase Mark II is based off of a bug. When Hitman 2 launched, someone set the briefcase throwing speed, so when you threw the briefcase it would fly really slowly. And because of the way the game works, if you throw something at a target, it is guaranteed to hit. And that means that the end result was that all briefcases became these things which would just slowly... these heat-seeking missiles that would just slowly follow your target and knock them out. But the bug was so popular that the Executive Briefcase Mark II was designed, whose flight speed has been deliberately tweaked to be as slow as possible.
Everything here. I'll see you later.
Mr. Knox, good to have you here.
That
Mr. Knox,
is Robert Knox.
to have you with us.
Yeah, I'm
Genius
forgetting
inventor,
something. I actually
black markets
forgot how I'm
weapons
supposed to
dealer, and
contact
Providence
Mr.
defector.
Knox. Let me just take a look at my intel again. RC-13 substitution cipher, decoded mechanic install device on cow and cow before race end, call RK. Alright, well I need to go place a phone call then. Oh dear, right, that means a bit of backtracking.
Yes?
This is the mechanic. The special component has been installed in the car and is ready for activation.
Excellent. Meet me shortly at the overpass. I'd like to handle this one personally.
All right.
Right. And now back we go. Okay, right. I'm gonna drop a save here, because what I'm going to do right now is gonna be very time sensitive and quite technical, I'm pretty sure.
Mr. Smith, a pleasure. Do you have the trigger?
Right here, sir.
Thank you. Tomorrow's papers will surely just write this off as a terrorist militia attack on some rich corporate CEO, but you and I will know better. Now watch this. Leave me. I need to be alone for a moment.
Oh, sir. This is just too perfect. Where is the TARDIS? Where is the TARDIS? Where is the TARDIS?
These cars are the future of motorsport. You see the grip on these babies? It's just so strong.
I gotta be careful
It's
because
straight up the wall.
I did it.
Both targets down. Well done,
Boom.
citizen. Head for an exit and we'll speak again.
And that is Sierra's car. In burning flames. I better pack up the sniper rifle before I get caught. Oh no, come on. I just realized I'm in this part of the map. I can't go that way. I'm in this part of the map. To go down, I'm pretty much going to need to
But it sure is loud.
use
You're a patriot,
one of the
sir. I can tell.
staircases round the back.
Smell those tacos or something?
This is a golden opportunity to use the joke exit. I just need to find a fish. Any fish?
Oh my god!
Fish.
You've got a certified trouble.
This one. This one. This one. This one. And this one. Boom.
That is Ted Mendes, one of the country's most influential military-grade money men. This must be connected.
Yes, that really happened. And, unless I messed something up horrendously, Silent Assassin. Alright, so to conclude this video, I have been given one final challenge, and that is to complete chasing a ghost in Mumbai using only accident kills and this specific loadout. Now, this is quite an interesting loadout because I do not have any items other than the ducky gun. And that means that in order to conduct all the accident kills, I'm going to have to rely heavily on what I can find in the fields. Now luckily the ducky gun is actually quite a good weapon for this challenge because, well, firstly it's silenced, so I mean I don't need to worry about alerting all the guards with my gunshots, and also it cannot be detected through frisks, so I can pass a frisk with this gun without causing any alarms, without raising any alarms. The downside is, this gun isn't perfect. It's one of the very few guns in the game that you cannot reload. So it comes with 5 rounds of ammunition, and that's all you get. So I'm gonna have to really ration my bullets. I'm gonna start off by eliminating Dawood Rangan. He's this film director in this apartment complex. He's my first target. Now, the trouble with Dawud Rangan is that this apartment complex is littered with cameras. Now luckily for me, this would have been a major problem until a fairly recent update, where they allowed us to lock onto cameras with melee items. I mean, this isn't as convenient as using bullets, naturally, because I still have to come close enough to hurl the melee item at the camera, but it's better than nothing. Now, let's acquire disguise.
Yes, what is it?
It's the food, Mr. Rangan. The catering seems to have delivered the wrong
that?
things and they refuse to do anything about it.
Then you lean on them a little harder.
That's
my friend.
interesting.
I'm
thing about,
not really comfortable with that, Mr. Rangan.
The thing about the Maelstrom, my third target, is that I don't actually know his identity, so I need to figure out who he is. It would be awfully nice if I could get a hold of that photo right there on that desk.
You are an adult. It's your job. Take care of it yourself. Understand?
Yes, Mr. Rangan. Thank you.
Bloody idiot.
But grabbing that photo is an illegal action. And that guy is staring right at me. Oh, it's an opportunity to get his disguise, isn't it? Oh.
Come on.
Yes. Well, hold on. How are you still... Alright, I'll be right back. Don't get suspicious,
This
don't
looks
get
like a
suspicious.
very recent picture of the Maelstrom. With this in hand, picking him out in a crowd should be possible.
You didn't see that, did you?
Have a great day.
I got away with it. It'd be awfully convenient if I could lure Dawud Rangan into the bathroom there. Because those puddles, which for some reason are flickering in and out of existence, can conduct electricity. If only I had a battery. I wonder if there is a battery on the top floors. The upper floors do tend to have a lot of this kind of random stuff lying around. If I could find a battery up there, that'd be quite nice. Oh, but there is a propane tank. There is a propane tank. That is good.
Let's just say I may have persuaded the team doctor to spike the tea with a little something to make the players, well, slightly less focused, you know? The odds were too good to ignore, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna get him with a propane tank. I just gotta be careful not to be spotted. He's dead.
Dawud Rangan is confirmed killed. No rest for the wicked, however. On to the
And
next
I
one.
managed to do it without even getting a collateral, so that's nice. So yeah, that qualifies as an accident kill. When a target is killed through an accident, it doesn't matter if their body is found, you do not lose Silent Assassin rating. Which means that, according to Hitman, a massive explosion qualifies as being very, very silent and sneaky. Alright, well, that's Dawud Rangan out of the equation. Now I just need to deal with the other targets, Vanya Shah and the Maelstrom. And I've got 4 bullets to kill them with.
No, that's not him.
Is that lad the Maelstrom? He looks like he could be the Maelstrom.
47. That nose. Those eyes. That can only be Wazir Kale.
How
the
can you
Maelstrom.
tell, Diana? He was staring at the back of his head. Where is he going? Oh, hold on a second. He's isolating himself now. This could be a golden opportunity. Oh, he's not quite isolating himself. Can I distract him? There, I'm going to throw this down. Hey, look at this. hammer. Isn't that cool?
I don't have time for this
I don't have
stupidity.
any coins. Come on, no one's looking. Nope. Hey. Damn it.
Huh?
Close. No cigar.
Hey, anybody there? Hello?
Alright, sod it. I'm gonna try and distract him towards this puddle and hope that the car battery works there.
What?
It's very unlikely. It's worth a shot. There's the car battery.
Let's just see what it was.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, I could also drop that sign on him. Crying out loud, wrong guy. Well, that was a mess. Not me, huh? Ooh, there's this one. Oh. Oh. Oh, please tell me he talks to this guard. Yes, he does.
Tell you.
I got him.
The infamous Maelstrom is dead. Very well done.
Alright,
47.
well, that's target 2 down
Just one
and
target
3
left.
bullets to go.
Let's bring this one home.
My final target is Vanya Shah.
Mark my words.
How do I get to her? I mean, she's in that train yard.
I don't.
Pretty well guarded, so I need to figure out how to get in there first. Thankfully, it isn't too hard to break in. I know these maps like the back of my hand. Since when did I have a marker staying there? Sorry, I'm getting distracted. That shack over there has a cupboard. If I manage to sneak over there, I could knock someone out, hide their body, maintain silent assassin rating. What are you doing here?
You can't be here.
Alright.
Hey, अपन के साथ. Hey.
Anyway. Well, the good news is I now have the Queen's bodyguard disguise. So, you win some, you lose some. In this case, I lost silent assassin rating, but oh well.
I don't want to risk it overheating or blowing up or something.
Interesting. Shah's personal steam pond appears to be out of order. Maybe you should take a look at the rooftop water tanks, 47.
PSI. Is that
Okay.
fine? Okay, I understand. No one will touch this from my
I'm gonna need a battery.
I've got some weird ass noises coming from somewhere around here. Better go and see what's up. I'll be in touch.
Ooh, I'm in an awfully poor position now. I can't believe I got away with that. Moonwalking saved the day.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, the water tanks are on.
Rangan and that strange man who comes by occasion. They talked and he told us something very definite.
Alright.
Rangan started yelling.
Alright, she's
Confirmed
dead.
kill on Vanya Shah. Excellent work,
Last target is
47.
down. And now
Mission
all I need to do
completed. Time to find an exit.
is find an exit. And mission accomplished. Not quite silent assassin because I got spotted on the rooftops, but close enough. Accident kills using only stuff found in the field and a ducky pistol. Oh, blimey, I really messed this one up. What did I do? Oh, they noticed me killing them at some point. Well, that's rather unfortunate. Anyway, on that note, it's time to end. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm Barky, and I'll catch you next time.